WorldHome collection. We bring the best of the best from across the world to you at Purva Atmosphere. And today, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to brace yourself and get ready to witness the biggest virtual unveiling of the first of its kind Miyawaki Forest here at Purva Atmosphere. To unveil the same, may I please invite Mr. Shashank Sharma, Project Manager, Say Trees Environment Trust. He's here with us, so it's time for me to welcome him.
Hi, Achna.
Hello, Mr. Shashank Sharma. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Nice to meet you.
My pleasure, and I'm excited for our conversation and our chat session today. But before that, we have the unveiling to happen that all have been very eagerly waiting for, the Miyawaki Forest at Purva Atmosphere and the unveiling. So please do the honors.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Miyawaki and adventure experiences. Well, I'm sure there's a lot to know about this. But for now, thank you so much. Time for us to take our seats and get comfortable as we start the conversation.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Sharma.
Thank
you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we start the conversation, there's definitely something that I'll have to tell you all, that we have a lot of users watching us live, and I'm sure you'll have questions about the Miyawaki Forest. So here's a number that you can send in your questions to. Please WhatsApp your questions to this number, 63649 15179, 63649 15179. That's the number. Please keep the questions coming in and let me get comfortable as we speak. Mr. Sharma, thank you so much for joining us.
No, it's
now, first of all, to start with, Miyawaki, the term itself has a good ring to it, but what is it all about? Please throw some light on this topic.
Miyawaki is a name of a botanist scientist, Akira Miyawaki. And the forest was named after him as Miyawaki Forest. So the origination of this forest from Japan, and later to this, every country has adopted this upon the feasibility of growing that forest around their environment.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being live with us for this session, but there is a technical glitch that we are looking into. Kindly bear with us. Gentlemen, sorry for the inconvenience. We really appreciate your patience. We will continue this live session. We have with us Mr. Shashank Sharma. So, Mr. Sharma, we were talking about Miyawaki. Okay, no more interruptions. So let's continue. Miyawaki, the unusual terminology, but you were telling us what it is all about.
Yeah, so I was talking about Miyawaki, how the forest was named Miyawaki. And so Miyawaki term originated from uh, Japanese botanist known as Akira Miyawaki, who has spent his lives inside forest to learn more about how we can improve the afforestation technique, resulted in coming up with Miyawaki Forest, the idea behind it.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, when we were talking about the World Home, mentioned that we strive to bring you the best of the best from across the world. And here it is, a Japanese technique, Miyawaki Forest. I'm sure you're intrigued to know a lot more about this, so let's continue.
Yeah.
How long have you been associated with in India?
We came into picture with Miyawaki Forest in 2015, approximately 5 years back. And we were doing our researches and to see how we can use Miyawaki Forest and how we in India, and what kind of species and what kind of biomass can be included, so that we can test these Miyawaki Forest in India also. And we planted our first Miyawaki Forest in 2016, and the forest is almost more than 4.5 years now, and it is very much fresh. It is where it covers a bigger greener area, and it has a lot of benefits coming and giving to environment.
That is fantastic, and definitely it is going to be very good to see a city of Bangalore that is called a garden city to be full of greeneries across the vicinity. Fantastic. Moving on, my next question. So Bangalore, of course, is a fastest growing city, and we do have scarcity of water here.
Yeah.
How do we address this issue now that we're about a forest?
See, water scarcity is a very common topic in Bangalore, which is happening all around. And when you have seen the Bangalore's weather, there used to be a rains in, but nowadays you can't see rains. Even in the last 2 years, we have seen barely few rainfalls that has helped us creating more forest and greeny area. But the Miyawaki forest is one of the techniques in which the forest becomes self-sustainable in 2 to 3 years of time, and watering has to be done in the first 6 months. Post that, gradually the amount of water what is required by the forest decreases over the time. And once the forest crosses a period of 2 to 3 years, it becomes self-sustainable and it doesn't require human watering.
Okay, fantastic. I think that kind of solves the scarcity problem of water in Bangalore. Well, I must say, it surely stands for the Go Green initiative, and we believe in being resourceful. Fantastic. Well, our next question, but before we move on to the next question, Mr. Sharma, I'm sure the audience will have a lot more questions also.
Sure,
so let me
ready to
quickly
take up.
remind them about the number that they can WhatsApp their questions to. Ladies and gentlemen, please send in your questions to 63649 15179. I repeat, 63649 With that, next question. Please tell us about the growth speed. We're talking about a forest here, and Bangalore has seen many projects, which has actually had mini forest. Now, unfortunately, after many years, I take a walk around these projects and I see these forests to be mini yet.
Correct.
So we're talking about forests. So tell us about the growth speed of the Miyawaki forest.
So Miyawaki forest is actually not a comparison to any other forest. All the forests are natural forests. Miyawaki forest can act as a substitute to natural forest and the plantation and forest what we have seen till now. So Miyawaki forest basically helps us around with various ways, and like the Miyawaki forest as compared to the conventional plantation grows 30 times denser and it is 10 times faster. So in a time span of 5 to 10 years, we get a forest as compared years natural forest.
Wow, I have my jaws dropped. We're talking about a forest with such a short period of time, and you should say that out to our live audience with a smile on your face. Mr. Sharma, we are talking about this fantastic from Japan, and we'll see this full-fledged forest in such a short span of time.
Correct.
And I must say, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to happen soon at Purva Atmosphere. So just close your eyes, if you will, and take a virtual walk around the Miyawaki forest at Purva Atmosphere. Well, that's what I am going to be doing, not before my next question. My next question to you, Mr. Shashank Sharma, is how fast do you think these Miyawaki forests get dense? Because we'd like to see some dense forests, While I'm taking my virtual tour around this forest at Purva Atmosphere, I want it to be really denser forest.
While coming to answer to that, I have like been to the plantation we did in 2016, and I have seen a Miyawaki forest growing from its day one to the year we stopped the maintenance. So when we plant the saplings, the density is it's less like it's almost you can transparent, you can see anything, and the height of saplings is only 3 feet and 4 feet till that. But as gradually the time increases and it reaches to 2 years time, the forest, what I have seen, it becomes so denser, it becomes so much thicker that you can't even see through, you can't even pass through. And the growth and the height of sapling, what I'm talking about, it reaches to a height of 15 to 20 feet on an average, which gives it a very dense wind cover, and which helps us to increase the green cover of the cities.
Being world class, ladies and gentlemen, it's a process. It's not a one-day thing, and we
Yeah.
strive for this process, and hence we present you the best of the best from across the world home collection. And this is truly turning out to be a fantastic visual for me at the moment, Mr. Sharma. On that note, we're talking about a forest. We also have to look into the maintenance. How easy is it to maintain a Miyawaki forest?
Okay. As I told you in the previous questions that we need to do a rigorous maintenance of the first 6 months. When we are planting a sapling to a forest bed, the sapling is just a baby. When you are changing the bed of the sapling to the forest bed, then require a very good care. And you can say you have to do a rigorous maintenance in those years so that the sapling gets adapted to the forest bed what we have created. So in the first 6 months, there is a lot of mulching that has to be done, a lot of organic solutions like Ganachivramritam, EM has to be sprayed, rigorous watering has to be done so the soil moisture is maintained and the saplings doesn't die. Now coming on to the time till it reaches to a 2 years of life, watering, the amount of water what we have to give and the mulching decreases. So watering has to be done like once, twice in a week or thrice in a week depending upon the moisture of the soil. And once it crosses the 2 years time, it becomes self-sustainable. You don't have to maintain it at all. You will be amazed to see the 2 years old growth, and we have a forest of 4.5 years old and we are not maintaining it. So it's living on its own, and after 2 years it has become self-sustainable.
All right. Well, we at Puravankara, we strongly believe that we are not inheriting the earth from our ancestors, but we are borrowing it from our children. It is our responsibility to make this place a better place for all the new generation, the children that we have, and especially this Miyawaki forest. I'm sure they're going to have a wonderful experience. The children basically walking around the forest and having all the beautiful foresty experiences at the comfort of their homes. And this is fantabulous, and this is going to at Purva Atmosphere. While we continue our conversation with Mr. Sharma, let me quickly tell you that we have a couple of more questions, but we're still looking forward to listening from you, ladies and gentlemen. If you have questions, keep sending them in and we will have them answered by Mr. Sharma. So, Mr. Sharma, we're talking about the density, we're talking about how safe it is to have the Miyawaki forest. Also tell us how it is, what are the species that we get to see here as a part of the Miyawaki forest?
Miyawaki Forest came into picture only for planting local species and to boost up the local ecological balance or to meet the ecological balance. Miyawaki, for the species involved are local species like what is to India is Magnifera indica, that is mango, then there is Tamarindus indica, that is tamarind, then there is religiosa, Ficus bengalensis, then there is Agil marmelos, and there is a like lot of other saplings that also helps in a timber way. It can be teak, or it can be bale, or it can be other saplings continuing to it. So in total we plant almost 60 to 65 varieties in that, and it covers 4 layer of forest, that is understories, canopy layer, subtree layer and tree layer. So these all species of saplings are distributed in these 4 classes.
Well, those botanical names is just bringing back my class 5 science science matters. I think I'm just going back to school days and remembering all these botanical names. What an amazing experience it will be for us to walk through all these fantastic species while we have that dense Miyawaki forest at Purva Atmosphere.
It is amazing.
On that note, it's time for us to take a few questions from our live audience.
Sure.
So let's see what we have. Okay, so we have a lot of responsible parents out there who are watching us live, and they have this question. So we're talking about forests, and it is definitely possible for us to see these snakes and reptiles, and we'll have children in the How do we make sure that our children are safe? How do we ensure the safety of our children?
See, forests are a part of ecosystem, and to bring in ecological balance, forests are really necessary. So coming on to how forests like snakes and repellents like reptiles are can affect our children, saying that we when we plant a forest, bees, butterflies, insects, and more living beings that are required to adopt the forest as a habitat. But with that, food cycles also needs to be completed, and it attracts the reptile. Now, when it is a wild area, the snakes are also a part of forest, and we don't need to remove it. But coming on to when it is a forest in your back, it is a forest in your apartments, we use few saplings that avoid the snakes coming and entering to the forest. So it can be gold, it can be a wormwood, it can be garlic, it can be a sarpgandha. These all, when you plant these shrubs around the forest, it helps us to avoid the snakes.
At Puravankara, we not only give you world-class experiences, but we also ensure that the safety of our children is kept intact.
Yeah,
With Miyawaki Forest, I think many more things are going to open up. Now, tell me one thing, Mr. Sharma. When was the last time you actually kind of, went childlike and, enjoyed zip lining or a tree house? When was the last time you did that?
It's been a long time.
Well,
Yeah.
such is the case for our live audience also. And it is not something that we can, gradually do. We can just step out of the beds and say, okay, let's go ziplining today, or let's just go up top and, sit in our tree house. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that dream might just come true. How, you ask me? Miyawaki Forest is the answer. We don't give you a forest, but we give you a forest experience. We call it adventure. We give you tunnels, we give you tree houses, we also give you ziplining, and these are just few to name. There'll be many more forest and adventurous experiences that you will Miyawaki Forest at Purva Atmosphere. Well, I cannot hold my excitement. I'm extremely stoked, and I'm really looking forward to how the whole will be definitely a visionary beauty. And I'm sure Mr. Sharma also agrees with what I'm saying.
Even see, Miyawaki forests are very much important to cities. As you can see, the weather of Bangalore is getting changed day by day. And these Miyawaki forest, when you grow it inside every apartments, inside your houses, inside your surroundings, so these forests in like a short area, it will cover to a bigger region, and it will help us to increase the greenery. And also in a way, when you have a forest at your back, it is very healthy for you, because you will get pure oxygen from that. It will help you to absorb more carbon dioxide from the environment. It will help you to attract more pollutants from the environment and make the atmosphere clean. So all these things add up to build a Miyawaki forest in your back house, or to build it in your apartments or your living areas.
Okay, well, Miyawaki Forest is definitely happening at Purva Atmosphere, ladies and gentlemen. For now, I can just give you a virtual experience. Close your eyes and paint the picture that Mr. Sharma was describing. It is going to look phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have. If you have any questions, keep them coming, and we'll see how we can answer those questions about the Miyawaki Forest. For now, thank you so much for the insights and your expertise on Miyawaki Forest. Definitely, Puravankara looks at Go Green initiative, and we take it up a notch. Bangalore is definitely going to become the garden city as it was celebrated all these years. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience, thank you for your time, and thank you for joining us. Many more experiences, world-class experiences to be unveiled in the coming days, and I'm sure you're going to be with us and support all of these world-class experiences. For now, it's time for me to thank you and thank Mr. Sharma for his time. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe. Thank you once again. This is all of us from Purva.